At this time, would everyone please silence their cell phones? Please rise while the colors are posted. Former Congressman Michael McNulty will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our opening prayer. Brooke Albert will lead us in prayer. Amen. Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Peter K. Goebel, the Director of the Rensselaer County Veterans Service Agency. We've gathered here this morning to honor a deceased Rensselaer County veteran for the month of November, and that veteran is Nathan J. Schneider. We're honored to have with us this morning his family members, his mother, Linda Fryer, his stepdad, Brent McNabb, his sister, Kristen Donnelly, his brother-in-law, Gary Donnelly, his sister, Stephanie Snyder, his brother-in-law, Jeff Ho, his twin brother, Nicholas Snyder, sister-in-law, Morgan Snyder, brother, Noah Snyder, brother, Brandon McNabb, sister, Cassandra McNabb, father, Timothy Schneider, grandmother, Pam Verini Hester, grandfather, John Schneider, grandmother, Kathy Schneider, stepmother, Nicole Casino, great-aunt, Carol Borst, uncle, David Fryer, aunt, Sue Fryer, Aunt Ruth Greminger, Aunt Sue Nessler, Uncle Ed Nessler, Aunt Karen Warner, Aunt Laura Hegarty, Uncle Patrick Hegarty, Cousin Shay Hegarty, Cousin Addison Hegarty, Cousin Lori Jubick, Cousin Kelly Mole, Cousin Tyler Greminger, Cousin Michael Warner, friend Donna Gaito, friend Bob Gaito, cousin Josh Fryer, and friend Sean Cook. Thank you all for being here. Also with us to honor our Veteran of the Month, our Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin, Congressman Paul Tonko, representing Congressman Antonio Delgado, Max Prime, former Congressman Michael McNulty, New York State Senator Daphne Jordan, New York State Assemblyman Jake Ashby, Rensselaer County Court Judge Deborah Young, Rensselaer County Legislative Chair Mike Stammel, Rensselaer County Legislative Vice Chair Kelly Hoffman, Vice Chairman for Finance Robert Loveridge, Rensselaer County Legislative Majority Leader and Chairman of the Legislative Veterans Committee Kenneth Harrington, Rensselaer County District Attorney Mary Pat Donnelly, Rensselaer County Under Sheriff P.J. Higgett, representing Colonel Earl Schoenberg, the commander of the Watervliet Arsenal, is Mr. Matt Day. We also have county legislators Dan Casal and Tom Grant. As we are all well aware, Memorial Day and Veterans Day are special days to remember all of our veterans. This program was created to help us honor our veterans all year round. To us here in Rensselaer County, every day is Veterans Day. The Rensselaer County Honor a Deceased Veteran program represents veterans organizations throughout the entire county. This includes members of the American Legion, the Disabled American Veterans, the Veterans of Lansingburg, the Military Order of the Purple Heart, the Marine Corps League, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Korean War Veterans, the Tri-County Council of Vietnam-era Veterans, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, the Vietnam Veterans of America, the AMVETS, and the Rensselaer County Veterans Service Agency. I will now ask Mike Stammel, Rensselaer County Legislative Chair, and the assembled county legislators to come forward to tell us about our honored veteran for the month of November, Nathan J. Schneider.
Thank you, Peter, as always. Good morning. It is my pleasure and welcome you to our monthly Honor a Vet ceremony. The Rensselaer County Legislature has a long history of honoring the brave veterans of Rensselaer County that have served the county at home and abroad. Today, we have a large showing of family and friends of this month's honoree, and thank each of you for joining us here today. Today, we are honoring the life and service of Nathan J. Schneider of North Greenbush. Nathan was born in February 20th, 1995. Nathan was one of 5 children, born to Timothy Snyder and Linda Fryer. Nathan was raised in North Greenbush and grew up loving the outdoors. He enjoyed snowboarding, snowmobiling, hiking, fishing, true outdoorsman, and a fitness fanatic. Nathan graduated from Averill Park High School in 2013, and shortly after graduation, Nathan enlisted in the United States Army in Albany, New York. Nathan completed 13 weeks of one-station unit training as an infantryman in 2013, and in 2 weeks of air assault training in 2014. In January of 2015, Nathan was deployed to Afghanistan as an Army Infantryman 11B, known as the 11 Bravo. This was the main land base for combat forces in the U.S. Army. Infantrymen serve the combat operations, including reconnaissance missions. Infantrymen are experts in both weaponry and machinery, maintaining and firing combat weapons of all types, and they may also have to know how to operate and maintain communication equipment that is critical to the safety of their fellow soldiers. On December 9, 2016, Specialist Snyder was honorably discharged from the United States Army at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Specialist Snyder was awarded the Afghanistan Campaign Medal with 1 campaign star, the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Meritorious Unit Commendations, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Army Service Ribbon, the NATO Medal, the Combat Infantry Badge, and the Air Assault Badge. Nathan returned home to North Greenbush and took a job with the United States Post Office and worked at the Troy Post Office. Nathan also became an active member of the East Greenbush VFW Post 7338. While working at the Post Office, Nathan made a decision to re-enlist in the Army. Sadly, Nathan passed away on October 20th, 2018. He was only 23 years old. Nathan is survived by his mother, Linda, his father, Timothy, his stepmother, Nicole, his stepfather, Brett, his sisters, Kristen and Stephanie, his twin brother, Nicholas, and brother, Noah, his nieces and nephews, Marley, Annie, Kennedy, and Chase, his grandparents, John and Kristen Snyder, and Pamela Hester, the entire Fryer family of Averill Park, and his canine companions, Sky, Hudson, and Colby. Nathan was preceded by his grandparents, Donald and Alice Fryer, and his niece, Allie. Nathan is buried in Sand Lake Union Cemetery in Sand Lake, New York. We are still deeply saddened at the passing of this brave young man who selfishly served his country during the time of war. This large gathering here today is a testament to the great impact Nathan had on so many of us during his life. On behalf of the colleagues of this legislature, I would like to thank Nathan's family for allowing us to honor him, him here today. Thank you for his friends, Nathan's Uncle Ed Nestor, for recommending Nathan as a deserving veteran to be honored and remembered forever here at the Rensselaer County Legislature. Again, thank you for having your son serve us and siblings serve us as far as one of Rensselaer County's finest and serving this country in its time of war. Would any of the other legislators like to say anything? Tom?
Yeah, no, as chairman of the Veterans Committee for the county legislature, I'd like to ask Colonel Tom Walsh if you want to say a couple words prior to presenting the plaque.
Well, thank you, Ken. Thank you for the opportunity to give me a chance to say a few words. I will say this is probably the largest group of family members I've seen at one of these functions, and I'm very proud to see that you're supporting your veteran. And unfortunately, he was too young to pass away. And I had a birthday the other day, and I just turned 86, and it's very sad to see somebody that young pass away. And he's got a whole life ahead of him. In the Army, he was an infantryman, and I'm armor. And when I was in the tank, you had 4 or 5 inches of steel around you. An infantryman only had a shirt, which is not too much. And normally, in tactics, the infantry is in support of the armor, and that's to protect the armor from being shot by other infantrymen from the other side. But I want to mention, too, that Nathan will be honored on our wall of heroes out here. We have on the right-hand side, as you're going out, is a whole list of plaques, and it's got everybody's name on it that we've honored over the past years here. And Nathan's will be on that next year. Thank you very much.
Tom is still pretty active. He's on our County Honor a Deceased Veterans Committee. Tom served in my position for, what, 20 years, probably? Yes. So I'm glad to have him here today. As chairman of the Veterans Committee, it's my honor to present this plaque on behalf of the county legislature to you, Linda, and the rest of your family, the rest of Nathan's family. We're honored to, it's my pleasure to be chairman of this committee and honor our deceased veterans. Here we have a young man who enlisted when he was 18 years old, not yet able to smoke or drink in his hometown, but we send him to, before his 20th birthday, we send him to Afghanistan to possibly pay the ultimate price to defend the freedoms that you and I enjoy here on a daily basis and everyone else enjoys. He was in infantry, and he's probably, as Tom said, probably one of the most vulnerable jobs you can get in the military. Or those infantrymen that got their boots on the ground, as we say, you know. It's just that I hope, you know, that those who are constantly protesting something in this country today and every day, that on Thursday they will take a moment to honor veterans like Nathan and thank those soldiers for the service that they have given our country, and that they realize that without those soldiers, they might not be able to do the protesting that they do. I just hope they take a day to do that. It's my honor again to present this plaque to you, Linda, and everyone else in the family on behalf of the entire legislature.
I will now ask our Rensselaer County Executive, Steve McLaughlin, to come forward.
Thank you, Peter. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. What an incredible crowd. An unbelievable tribute to Nathan. We always get some folks here. We don't usually have a packed house like this. So it's a great tribute to Nathan, not only the family, but the friends and the extended family as well. So that is a great tribute to him, and we thank you for letting us honor him today. This is a hard one. You don't usually, when we're reading through these, when I read this last week, you know, I knew about it, but you see the date and you think, he's just a kid. You know, that's my son's same age. So both of my boys, 24, 25, same age. So all of us in this age group, that's where our kids are. So you think about that, and as Colonel Walsh said, far too young. You don't ever want to see anything like that happen to a young person. Usually when we're honoring a veteran, it's somebody that was much more advanced in years. But when you look at what Nathan did, he certainly fit a lot into the time that he had, and for that, I'm sure his families has some great memories of that, which is great. But it's a tough thing, to see somebody young go off to war like that, come back home, looking at re-enlisting again, and to lose somebody that young is it's a tragedy. And he is certainly missed by so many, and it's our honor to be able to honor him. And I think what a appropriate time to do it, right at Veterans Day. It's we typically think of the veterans as older folks, but not always. They're sometimes we lose those that are young, and it's a horrible thing to deal with. And it's there's not much you can really add to what Mike and Kenny and Colonel Walsh said, but just know that we're thinking of him and of you, and we thank you for letting us honor him today. He did great service to the country. When you look at those medals and those awards that he got in such a short time, he was obviously a great guy, great kid. Thank you.
I will now ask Congressman Paul Tonkoat and Max Prime, representing Congressman Antonio Delgado, to come forward.
Thank you, Peter. Excuse me. Thank you, Peter. And thank you for your service to the veterans via Rensselaer County. Linda and Tim, certainly Kristen and Stephanie and Nicholas and Noah, and all the extended family and friends. First, my deepest condolences on the passing of your son. As we commemorate Veterans Day this week, we're reminded that there is that honor roll of citizens, of veterans who assume great responsibility and express deep patriotism as they serve this nation in uniform. And the turnout this morning tells us that Nathan J. Snyder was loved, and that he loved. He loved his family, and I'm certain loved his country, and expressed it in very valiant and courageous terms. As is defined in the biography, as an infantryman, he was that backbone of the Army, defending the troops, protecting the citizens in that country. It required true grit, great training, undeniable courage, and certainly patriotism. At a very young age, he chose to serve this country. And we're reminded that so many that serve us as active military are very, very young. So this morning, we honor his memory, his spirit. We recognize that he was much decorated, including being awarded that Afghanistan Campaign Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, and so many others. He obviously is an inspiration. made his statement. Sometimes we tend to measure life in years, but his commitment and his accomplishments are much beyond his years. And so this morning, I join with my colleague Max, who represents Congressman Antonio Delgado this morning, a friend and colleague. Together, we had asked that the American flag be flown over our nation's capital in tribute to Nathan J. Snyder. Honor his spirit, his memory, and commend him as a hero. Know that his service is respected and appreciated, and that we honor his commitment to this country. And my final thoughts and statements are, my thoughts and prayers are with you, and may he rest in peace. Max.
Thank you for having us here today to gather us together in honor of Nathan and his memory and his service. I am here on behalf of Congressman Antonio Delgado. Unfortunately, he could not be in attendance today, but he did ask that I come on his behalf to make sure that Nathan is honored appropriately in the manner that he deserves. There's not a whole lot more to say besides what everybody said. Everybody's spoken to Nathan's memory and to his legacy, and while he has gone far too soon, it is clear that he has made his mark on this community, and one that will endure for a long time to come. And I think it's also a testament to his character that upon returning home, he continued in public service in a way, in serving his community through the Postal Service, and then even going to re-enlist. But that seems to have always been a part of his mind and character, and just giving to the community and to those around him, as is evidenced by everybody who is here today. And I do have here a letter from Congressman Delgado that he asked that I bring to offer to you on his behalf, to make sure again that Nathan's memory is honored appropriately. And thank you here for having us here today and allowing us to remember him. Thank you.
I will now ask New York State Senator Daphne Jordan to come forward.
Good morning. More important than anything we could bestow in Nathan's memory is the fact that he has so many friends and family here showing their love for him today. We're here to recognize and commend U.S. Army Infantryman Nathan J. Snyder today. And it's poignant that in the midst of all the Veterans Day celebrations and ceremonies that we have, in which we thank our veterans for their service, we want them all to know that we thank them every day. And I hope that Nathan knew that people were thankful for his service and that he felt that gratitude because his service mattered. Nathan had a great love for his country, and he demonstrated his patriotism just in the fact that he served abroad in Afghanistan, and then he served again when he came home. He also was hoping to re-enlist at his very untimely passing, and that also shows his strong demonstration of love for his country. As a New York State Senator, the highest honor I can present is the New York State Liberty Medal. and I have brought one here today for Nathan. I've also brought a Senate proclamation, and the Liberty Medal is awarded to individuals who have merited special commendation for heroic or humanitarian acts on behalf of their fellow New Yorkers. And Nathan did that. And I just want to tell you how heartfelt I feel for you. I'm a mother of 2 young men, a 20-year-old and a 28-year-old, so they sort of are around what Nathan's age would have been. And I've used 3 tissues sitting here listening and feeling for you. I'm so very sorry for Nathan's loss, but we are so very, very grateful for his service and will remember him dearly.
I will now ask New York State Assemblyman Jake Ashby and New York State Assemblyman John McDonald III to come forward.
Well, good morning. I want to thank everyone for coming out this morning. It's always good to see Congressman McNulty, who, without him, this program would not be in existence, and County Executive Steve McLaughlin, Colonel Goebel, Colonel Walsh, and so many friends and family who are here today. And you know, I was thinking to myself, reading the bio of Specialist Snyder, his time in the infantry. I was attached to an airborne infantry company in Afghanistan, and I patrolled with them every day, and what they were tasked to do for me was protect me. I was part of a civil affairs team, and so I would go out with them, and they would more or less make sure that I didn't do anything stupid. And one of the things, one of the sentences in the bio talks about, you know, what infantrymen have are good communication skills, and I can think of more than a few times that they exercise those great communication skills out on patrol with me and my team, and trying to keep us safe. And having to live in that environment every day, and then coming home and being in a very different environment, and having people struggle to understand how to be in that environment. And even with an incredible supportive family and friends, how hard it can be. And it's not easy. And what that means to our nation and our community, the sacrifices that people make on behalf of our country and what it takes to serve is not easy. And it's not forgotten by those who are close to it. It's not forgotten by those who are here today, nor will it be any other day. I didn't know Nathan, but I wish that I did. And I'm grateful for every single one of you that you're here today, and I'm grateful for his service and what he did for our country, our state, and our community. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. On behalf of myself, the New York State Assembly, my colleague John McDonald, we have a proclamation here for you today. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Jake, and good morning, everybody. You know, yesterday was interesting. Front page of the Times-Union had a very large story about how our capital region, a priest in Cohoes, a member of the south end of Albany, and former Congressman Hamilton Fish down in Dutchess County was involved with establishing the tomb of the unknown soldier. And, during the course of events yesterday, I reflected on that because the reality is there are hundreds of thousands of individuals who've fought and protected our freedoms that we don't know anything about, but we owe a debt of gratitude to them. Today's different. Maybe a lot of select officials may not have known Nathan, but the family knows him very well. And it's real. And this is why these monthly occasions are important, because it informs us, reminds us of individuals who, for whatever reason, chose at the tender age of 18 or 19 to go serve our country, to do the hard work that my colleague Jake Ashby, who has served, myself I haven't, has described exactly the hard work he's doing to protect our freedoms. Today is real. And to the family, this is probably hard in many aspects, but it's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do, and I personally, along with most of my colleagues, want to thank you for remembering Nathan. I love the line on the front here, it's never goodbye. Gathered today as a community, it's not goodbye, it's a remembrance. And thank you for bringing us all together.
Tim Forbes from the Rensselaer County Honor Deceased Veteran Committee will present the committee plaque at this time. Will the committee members please stand?
On behalf of the Honor Deceased Veteran Committee, the citizens of Rensselaer County and the veterans who have done it, please accept this plaque as a symbol of our appreciation for your love and service. Thank you all for being here today and allowing us to honor you. It really is something such an amazing.
Please stand for the closing prayer. Retire the colors. Please join us for our next Honor of Veterans ceremony scheduled for Monday, December 13th, in honor of Thomas S. Ostrowski. Before we go our separate ways, we will take a few family photos. Then we will reassemble shortly at our county flagpole to raise the flag in Nathan's memory. This concludes our Honor Vet ceremony for this month. Thank you for coming to honor our deceased veteran for the month of November, Nathan J. Snyder.